Hello friends, it's Maria, and today I want to talk about books, and more specifically books in my TBR that I got just because the cover is pretty. I know that we shouldn't judge books by their covers, but I admit that if I am faced with a number of books, I will most likely go for the books that I find the cover to be attractive. Because when you have so many choices, I think naturally you will gravitate to what calls to your attention the most. Which is why I think it's very important as an author myself that my book cover represents my story well, but in doing so that it is also attractive to the eye, so that readers will just naturally gravitate towards it. I know beauty is in the eye of the beholder, but at least having a well-made cover, I think it does make a difference. So let's get right into it. The first book in this list is Since We Fell by Dennis Lehane. I don't know if I pronounced his name correctly. This is actually a very simple book cover if you think about it, because it's just the title and the author's name. But I thought the colors were really pretty, and it's made with a sort of glossy material. And when you open it, the inside of it is actually really, I don't know if you can see it in the video, but it's actually, you know, really glossy, and it's kind of like pearly, like pearl color. And you know, on the inside, the hardback's actually really pretty as well. It's like colors that make you think sort of like fresh or like the sea. A really nice book cover. But I'm really not sure, I'm not even sure what the book is all about. I know for a fact that it's a genre that I don't normally read. I'm not sure, but I think it's a thriller. I'm gonna read the description. This one is: after a very public mental breakdown, Rachel Childs, once a tenacious, globe-trotting journalist, now lives as a virtual shut-in. In all respects, however, she enjoys an ideal life with an ideal husband, until a chance encounter on a rainy afternoon causes that ideal life to fray. As does Rachel's marriage, as does Rachel herself. Sucked into a conspiracy thick with deception, violence, and possibly madness, Rachel must find the strength within herself to conquer unimaginable fears and mind-altering truths. By turns heartbreaking, suspenseful, romantic, and sophisticated, Since We Fell is a novel of profound psychological insight and tension. It is Dennis Lehane at his very best. So as you can see, I think it's a thriller, and I normally don't read thrillers. I don't think I've ever read one in my life, so this will be the first. And yeah, I'll let you know how I like that. Another book in this list is Joyo Moyes, Paris for One and Other Stories. I think this is a romance novel. Actually, it's not a novel, I think it's a novella and a collection of short stories. So again, it's not something that I would normally read, but I thought this sounds pretty interesting for me. Seems to be, what called to my attention is actually the first story in this, which is Paris for One. It seems to be about a girl, a 26-year-old woman, who on the day that she was supposed to go with her boyfriend to Paris, he stood her up, he didn't show up, and so she had to go to Paris by herself. Let's read the description. Nell is 26 and has never been to Paris. She's never even been on a romantic weekend away to anywhere before. Traveling abroad isn't really her thing, but when Nell's boyfriend fails to show for their mini vacation, she has the opportunity to prove everyone, including herself, wrong. Alone in Paris, Nell finds a version of herself she never knew existed, independent and intrepid. Could this turn out to be the most adventurous weekend of her life? It sounds pretty interesting to me. If you see me glancing away, it's actually that my kitten is here and I'm keeping an eye on him so that he's safe. He's playing with something on the floor. Anyway, I find this one really interesting, and I think this will be the first in this little list that I'm gonna get to first. Actually, the colors in this make me think sort of about Christmas, because you have light blue, white, then it's red on the inside. It kind of makes me think about Christmas. And the final book in this list is The Book Jumper by Mechtild Glaser or Glaser. This book is actually translated from German, and to be quite honest, the story isn't very appealing to me. I'm gonna read the description to you so that you have an idea. It says, Amy Lennox doesn't know quite what to expect when she and her mother pick up and leave Germany for Scotland, heading to Lennox House, her mother's childhood home on the island of Stormsay. Amy's grandmother, Lady Mayread, insists that Amy must read while she resides at Lennox House, but not in the usual way. Amy learns that she is a book jumper, able to leap into a story and interact with the world inside. As thrilling as Amy's new power is, it also brings danger. Someone is stealing from the books she visits, and that person may be after her life. Teaming up with fellow book jumper Will, Amy vows to get to the bottom of the thefts at whatever cost. So as you can see, it's a young adult fantasy novel. So it's kind of the type of book that I read, but I don't think the idea is that interesting for me. But I just couldn't, when I saw this book at Barnes & Noble when I visited the United States, because there are no Barnes & Noble in Puerto Rico, at least not that I know of, I saw this book and I just couldn't leave it there, because frankly it's one of the most beautiful book covers that I have ever seen. You see it? You see it well? It is just so magical, at least I think so. And I noticed one thing again, there's also like the blue colors, so I guess blue for me is an attractive book cover color. It kind of repeats. So let's see how it looks like without the jacket. Sorry guys, my camera's battery died, but so the lighting might be weirder now because it's actually even raining now. So before that happens, I was about to show you how the book jumper looks without the jacket, and I really like the spine, how silvery it is. It's like silver. It goes very well with the fairy tale feel that this book is surely to have. Oh, look at this. Inside. Look at that. It's actually really pretty. How it's divided, everything's really pretty about this book. I am not sure about the story, so when I read this, I will let you know how that goes. So that's it for this video. I hope you liked it. I'm really interested in knowing whether any of you watching do this as well. You know, grab a book just because it looks interesting or looks pretty even before you read the description. And you know, sometimes I've seen books that are really pretty, but I haven't gotten them because the description inside really wasn't enticing enough for me. I hope you liked the video, and if you did, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I'm sharing new videos on Sundays and Wednesdays, videos related to reading, writing, and the occasional art blog. Thanks a lot for watching, and I will hopefully see you soon. By the way, this is my kitten Pudge.